For elderly couples under 35, you need to try consecutively for 12 months without protection to say you're infertile. If you're over 35, it's 6 months. So once you get pregnant, your body's immune system runs a scan of that fetus. If it sees anything wrong with that fetus, your body is going to reject it. And that's why we have miscarriage. That thing they used to say that fertility problem is women problem is a lie, especially this age. But why is it that poor people used to have more children? I was like, wow, I saw your post. I wrote it on Facebook. I saw your post. You say woman that has PCOS may have a larger clitoris. I say, yes, sir. I was like, come, I want to see you. So I went and I saw him, was like, can I confide in you? I said, yes, sir. I was like, there's a young sister in this church. I was like, there's a young sister in this church that has PCOS. I said, okay, that she's been to the hospital, she's been diagnosed, and that she has been worried about that. That she comes as a pastor now, comes and confide in him that is you. When I go to bath with my sisters and the rest, it be like my thing. Big pass my sister thing. So that's another thing you need to look out for. Please, that one is something you should look out for yourself and by yourself. Please don't go and look at somebody's own. Oh. Okay, so for vaginal K, I don't know how they will shout this one. For people that mix, what's this thing? This thing I've suffered in women's hands. Clothes I've suffered in the hands of women. So I used to wonder why. Okay, they say they do dodging. Dodging is like you steaming. Why do you steam the vagina? I know people eat it, but must you steam it? Vagina. People eat it. That's what I don't know. But so you see that makes garlic, cloves, cinnamon as they heat. You know that some food that the meat is so sensitive that you don't apply the heat directly. You just allow the heat to come out. Maybe that's how they do it. But you shouldn't do it because the steaming will alter the pH of your vagina. So that's what we call dodging. So now there's something we call, so we have sitz bath. Sitz bath is different from what most women do. Because sitz bath happens when there's an injury to the perineum, maybe after labor and childbirth. And there are things that are put in the water. Now, some of those things are not good to be applied directly. So they put it in water so that like the vapor can go directly and help. Two things it does. It's not really to even cure the wound. It's to help dry the area around the wound. So who knows? All right, please take me to the next slide. So before then, you see the no harsh soap, please, and cotton underwear. Cotton underwear. If you're using any other thing that is not cotton, it should just be for the meantime. It should just be when you are having a fun day with yoga. It shouldn't be. So people that like nylon, people that like and the rest, please don't use it. All right, so let's talk about sex. So sex is much more emotional than it's physical. Some people don't know that. That's why it's in your head before it's in your body. Except you are selling. I don't speak for people that use sex as a form of exchange, as a transaction. So you need connection. Now, whatever tickles your fancy. So we have the people that are aroused by taste, by smell, by sight, by hearing, whatever tickles your fancy, it has to come first. So when that happens, before your body responds. So that's why women know that maybe men are really moved by sight. So what do? They do be a mini, wanna walk around. So men know that. They say women are moved by what they hear. So a man will be like, hello, babe. Good afternoon. How are you doing? I would love to have you around me. And they start to whisper sweet nothingness. So that is what happens. But then, pleasure with sex is not automatic, even with men. I think women need to realize this. Not be every time they enjoy more. I know that nature has favored us, that the main organ for our pleasure is very visible and very out there. But then, do you realize that there's something we call psychoerectile dysfunction? Do you know how much it means to your man when you look at your man and be like, you look beautiful, you look handsome? Or you tell a man, you touch him and be like, wow, you did shave your beards. Look how sweet you look. Do you know some men can't remember the last time their woman, not a woman outside, their own woman appreciated them? Do you know what it means? You finish having sex with your man and you be like, oh, more today. You do well, though. Communication. So the communication is before, during, and after. Don't just lie down. Participate. All right. So don't assume something is wrong with you if it takes exploration. So this is for people who may just be doing, sometimes you may need to figure yourself out, especially for women to know what is actually working. Women do not help themselves. Statistically, 70-something% of women will never experience orgasm till they leave this world. And some way, somehow, they blame men. But some way, somehow, for me, I blame women. Because why can't you just tell him, see, come, leave that penetration, touch me here, do me like this. They say, no. Because you don't want to look like a bad person. Please, this thing is only for those that are married, though. I don't know what people are doing outside. So talk about what you want, what you don't want, what feels good, what is awkward, all of them. Consent and desire go hand in hand. We'll talk about consent. I think there's a place for consent. Pain during sex should never be normalized, except you are a woman and it's your first few times you're having sex. First few times. So as a woman, every time you have sex, it should be less painful. So if today's pain was 80, if you have tomorrow, it should be 6. This is when you are just starting. Oh, it should be 60. It should be 40. It should be going down. If you have 60, 70, it shouldn't be so. So any form of pain during sex should not happen. And if you're a man and she's feeling pains, please stop. So that you guys can sort out. So that we know. Next slide. So sexual health is different from sex. So it's how you can keep yourself healthy when it comes to sex. Now there are so many aspects of it. We have the issue with desire, performance, stress. So we have low libido, for example. Fluctuating desire is normal across genders. There's so many things that can affect your libido. Hormones, stress level, sleep. It's not really every time that you have a problem. It could be that you need to sort something out. Because you cannot tell me that you're thinking of, in this Tinubu Nigeria, you're thinking of how to pay house rent and you think you always stand. But why is it that poor people used to have more children?
It's a gift.
It's not really. I think they don't have fun things to do except that. You're always in the house. They're jobless, they're always in the house. Wow. Lack of education.
Yes, I think so. Because I can't to say poor people don't have work. Like, I think that is ingenuous. Because it comes to mind that good amount of poor people are hustling in the world.
Anybody wants to talk to us about their average amount of sex, like monthly? Let's see. Let's know who is poor. Okay, so we have erectile consent. You see this stuff? Oh, sorry, I stood up from my seat. This stuff is not only for men. Do you know women have erection?
Men do what? Election.
You are free to decline to answer to this. Have you ever had sex before?
I just one thing I've said.
Not yet.
Not yet. And if I don't have sex, it's not really you. I need a lady. Okay, but even if when you've not had sex, have you ever had an erection?
She has not.
Ting.
No, erection is when this thing is hard.
No, wait.
When you're what? What's this thing? What is this thing? Okay, so there's something called nocturnal tumescence, where in the night, your body becomes erect. Your genitals become erect, become aroused. For people that came in earlier, I mentioned that penis and clitoris are homogeneous. Whatever thing can happen to the penis can happen to the clitoris. Amen?
Amen.
That's why some people that have enlarged clitoris even use it sometimes as a way to use and have sex. Have you ever heard that? All right. So whatever happened to the penis can happen to the clitoris. It's just that sometimes women are not really observant enough. So when the process of sexual arousal comes, so just like a man has an erection, the penis stands, the clitoris also stands. So that is what you should be observing this thing, because there's something we call is it clitoridectomy? So I talked about it. So unlike the male penis, the male penis comes with a hood before it's circumcised. The clitoris also has this hood. The size of that hood differs from person to person. If your own hood is too much, you may have problems with feeling sexual pleasure, because when it becomes aroused, if the hood is too much, the glands of the clitoris will not come out. So there will be no stimulation. So for some women that notice that, they may go and through a surgical process, that hood is taken off. Observe yourself before person. So there's always this thing I used to say. If they snap your vulva, you know what's a vulva? Who knows the difference between a vulva and a vagina? Chief. Me is chief. I thought that before, so she's my chief.
The vulva is what you see, like as externally. When you open your legs, you see your vulva, but the vagina is inside. It's the hole. And when you put your hand inside, that is what you see.
So now I used to ask a question. If they snap your vulva and do a photo collage with other people's vulva, you know how they do photo collage? Can you spot your vulva? Like they bring that photo and give you and be like, show me your vulva. Can you spot it? It's not only to all of us. As a man, if they snap your penis and photo collage it with other penis, can you remove, like, this is my own?
I want it.
It's essential, because if you don't observe that way, you will not know when abnormalities happen. Do you know the color of your vulva? What if it starts to bruise? They say change in coloration. Some of them are not really always marked. I don't think.
How about when we have two is falling? How do you know the one that is the actual one? The two are falling.
So I think I said, I wouldn't say this, but if you go through my social media, I said something about my genitals. It's a funny one, but I said it to prove a point to people that you should actually know your genitals. Know it. So if you're a woman, when you go home, sit in front of a mirror. I would advise a mirror. I don't want to say phone, because we'll get to that. Sit in front of a mirror and know your genitals so that you can spot the difference. So the same thing with stress and performance. If you're a man, please, when you want to go and have sex, do not seek to impress. Because when you seek to impress, your adrenaline shoots. Your cortisol level shoots. It's stress. And when anxiety comes, your blood vessels constrict and your penis cannot be erect or maintain an erection in a constricted blood vessel. That's why for men, Ekemini is and Jackson. Ekemini and Jackson. If you look back at it, that girl you promise, Jackson. I can call you now. You the editor of my podcast, so you go know. That girl you promise to finish. Do you always notice that that's the one you cannot finish?
I think my wife.
Okay, so let's get to the next slide. So stress can affect your performance. It can also affect your performance as a woman. That's why some women will come back after working all through the day. They are not in the mood. Also, as a woman, know that your man cannot also, there are times he will not be in the mood. Women. Okay, fertility and pregnancy. Fertility is complex. Very, very complex. The funny thing is that the people that don't want it get it easily. Those ones that just do it in an uncompleted building. Pa, pa, pa. 2 line don't cut. Pa, pa. But the people that are looking for it, that are staying in king-size bed, AC, most times it doesn't come. So why it's complex is that there's a whole lot of things involved. From, it's 2 things. First thing first, when sperm enters a woman's body, sperm is a foreign body. Do you know that the woman's body fights sperm? Yes. Fights to kill sperm. That is why you have a fertility window. Because at your fertility window, the woman's body has become optimal from the mucus, from everything, preparing the body so well for sperm, for that sperm to be introduced. Other times, everything fights against that sperm. So it's a very complex thing. So pregnancy can take time. For elderly couples under 35, you need to try consecutively for 12 months without protection to say you're infertile. If you're over 35, it's 6 months. Then both partners matter. Fertility is a shared equation. That thing they used to say that fertility problem is women problem is a lie, especially this age. The amount of men that are the cause of fertility problems are increasing. Men are losing quality of sperm. Men are losing quality of sperm, especially as it pertains to DNA fragmentation, because of mostly the chemicals we're exposed to through our lifestyle, where we live, the kind of food we eat. So, sister, if you want to marry a man that is 40 and above, insist on semen analysis. It's important. Miscarriage happens more common than you think. There's something they call chemical pregnancy. I've only witnessed it once. Chemical pregnancy happens when you become pregnant, your body aborts the pregnancy, but you don't know, because it aborts it so fast that your next period just comes normally and you just think it was a normal period. So the only way you can spot it is for this, this kind of people that hold test strip after they've done something. They call me and be like, King knows I have test strip. When can I test? And I'll be like, when do you do it? They'll mention, I'll be like, okay, if it's blood, do it in 7 days. If it is urine, do it in 14 days. If you check it that closely, that is when you'll find it. Now, why that happens is that once you get pregnant, your body's immune system runs a scan of that fetus. If it sees anything wrong with that fetus, your body is going to reject it. And that's why we have miscarriage. So, 1 in 4 pregnancy ends in miscarriage. That is the known one. No? We don't even want to talk the one that did not come to limelight. That's how far it is. So it is a medical event. It's not really your problem. For me as a person, I don't doubt the spiritual aspect of medicine. I've seen things happen. But here, as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to you as a medical person. Some of the miscarriages that happen at medical events is not your family people, it's not your village people coming after you. We have issues with rhesus incompatibility. We have issues with cervical incompetence and so many other things. So, consent, safety, and your rights. What is consent? Consent is clear, willing, and ongoing. Clear, it must be said. Do you want us to have sex? Anye Boroso. Akwaowo, no. Stop. He ate your shawarma. Stop. You stole your father's money to give him to go to school. Stop. Maybe. Stop. Only yes. Because that maybe may spiral out of this thing. It should be clear and it should be expressed verbally. That's why you slept with a woman that got drunk. You can be liable for it in the law court. Because they don't believe that she was in her complete senses. Let me flip this. As a woman also, if a man says, I don't want sex, stop. You move beyond that, is assault. I used to ask this question. So in the law of Nigeria, they say that unlawful penetration happens when... So somebody used to ask me, if you say that women can rape, how can a woman unlawfully penetrate a man? This thing I used to see in movies where a man is like, I'm angry with you, I'm doing this, and he's talking, and you kiss the person. And sometimes, a Korean movie. So sometimes your tongue enters the person's mouth. Has your tongue not penetrated the mouth? So what of the one that they bring breast and come and put? I mean, like, so you still reject this thing?
It's rape.
So, please, consent is clear, is willing, freely given, and is ongoing. Somebody can withdraw consent at any time. Yes. You have removed your clothes, you want to put and finish, and they say no. So just carry it and put it back inside your clothes and go to avoid trouble. The same thing also with, I'm saying this because I need to say to women, after I've undressed myself, after you have seen my nakedness, you don't want to do again. Namaba, not doing. I'm not doing, I will go, leave me. As I was just about to do, the Spirit of God whispered. Be like, son, tell you do. So you can say no at any point, before, during, or after. doesn't need explanation. So what are the warning signs? So persistent pressure, some people don't pressure you with, there are people that have to threaten you. We know those ones, there's threat, there is coercion. So be careful of coercion. People don't really look about, young nam now, come, let's do. They start to lie to you. Are you having cramps? If you have sex, the cramps will go. All of those kind of things. Those are coercion. Emotional manipulation and guilt tripping. If you love me, you will have sex with me. See, do you know funny thing about this thing? It looks as if it only happens to women. If a woman wants to guilt trip you, oh, you know why they are the only species to have ever spoken with the devil and walk away. Even God did not want to record what was said. So how can you prove to me that you are a man? How can you prove to me you are a man? Don't prove anything, oh. All right, so any form of physical or emotional or sexual abuse goes against your rights. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Trust yourself. So you deserve safety, respect, and a full right to your own body in every relationship at every time. Thank you so much. Now it's your turn. So let's talk.